It's hard. Easy is not an option. It's hard living. Life is hard. See, it's hard when you're 49 years old, been working on a job for 17 years, and they come in and tell you you're finished and give you 1 week severance pay. And you got to start all over again. It's hard when you're married and raising children and your children are crawling and your husband dies unexpectedly. It's hard handling just the tragedies of life. It's hard when you're working on something and you put everything you have in it and it doesn't work. It's hard.
I realized that information changes situations. And so I'd rather buy a book than buy a house. Because if I buy a book, I can buy several homes. But if I buy a home and I don't have the right information, guys, you could burn my house down and it wouldn't bother me. Well, how do I know? Because we have the blueprints and they can rebuild it. You can take all my money out the bank. But if you take the knowledge out of my head and take the experiences that I've had, I'm broke, I'm nothing.
The disappointment drives you to find something more important inside of you. Or not getting it makes you look for another aspect of your life, a spiritual aspect, a family aspect, a physical aspect. If you can just trust that life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, then you can find in any situation a benefit that can take your life to the next level.
That's the number one thing you have to do, is to work on yourself and to fill yourself up and keep your cup full. Keep yourself full.
You got to make your decisions accountable. To who? To your actions. So you said, so first side, boom, decision. Second side, I want you to write down every single action it's going to take to make that decision a reality. You hear me?
Every one of us in our life is going to face situations where it feels like we have total trauma, something that's been taken from us. The real question is, what are you going to do with it?
That you can forget about failing that test. You can forget about being a disappointment to your mom, a disappointment to your dad. The fact that you didn't finish school, the fact that you got a divorce, the fact that for real, you feel like a failure. So you've been trying to make the rest of your life the best of your life, but you've been holding on to being a failure too. Forget about your past and make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Necessary to start talking to people and seeking and asking for what I wanted and leveraging relationships and trying to find out, how do the people do it that went ahead of me? How do they do it? And then what is it I need to do? How is it I need to train myself, to develop myself? What's the resources that will be required in order to make it happen?
We're in hell right now, believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell, 1 inch at a time.
Listen to me, your life will never be the same again. All the failures, all the mistakes, all the hurt, it's over. Hear what I'm telling you, it's over. Poverty is over. Lack is over. Like, you're about to live like next level, abundance. You're about to start doing things and you're going to start seeing success.
You have a choice to either give up or keep going. Give up or get up. When you fail, try again and again.
Why not now? This is a good time. As the 20th century starts to wind down, a few more years as we get ready for century 21, What a good time to set your goals, work on yourself, work on your skills. What a good time to get it together. What a good time to start this process. Personal development, growing, changing, developing, having a good plan for your money and for your life and for your future. Why not now?
What's now? No opportunities wasted. Listen to me carefully, guys. Listen to me very carefully. You got to hear what I'm saying. This is important. There are 86,400 seconds in a day, and if you maximize each and every one of them, you will live like you want to live, you will have what you want to have, and you'll be what you want to be.
You can have more than you've got because you can become more than you are. If you just remain how you are, you'll always have what you've got. But if you're willing to make changes, the next 5 years of your life can be totally different than the last 5. If you don't change, chances are excellent the next 5 will be like the last 5. For things to change, you've got to change. For things to get better, it's not what happens that determines your future, it's what you do about what happens. Direction determines destination. All you got to do is make a little change in direction to arrive at a brand new destination in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years.
You either have to change your life. That is, you gotta say, you know what, my body isn't there, I'm gonna go work out. My relationship isn't there, I'm gonna change it. You know, I'm not making what I gotta make, I'm gonna retool, I'm gonna get a new skill, I'm gonna go back to school, I'm gonna start a business, I'm gonna do something. You have to do something to change your life. Or, in order for you to be happy, if you can't change your life, you're gonna have to change your blueprint. Usually in life, it requires a little bit of each. Does that make sense? And if you change your life and change your blueprint, you can have an extraordinary life. Because all of us are gonna have times in our life when what we want or think life should be like isn't gonna match how life really is. Those moments, if we blame, our life goes into pain. If we change, we can change our life and match our blueprint. The fact that you're not happy has nothing to do with what you have or don't have. The fact that you're not happy is that your life doesn't match the way you think it should be. And you have some idea of how you think it should be.
Listen to me. There are those of you who what you're doing is if there are 10 opportunities in a day and you're taking advantage of 7 of them, you think you're doing something. Yeah, you gotta hear me, you gotta hear me. You only have 24 hours in a day, and you've heard me say this time and time again. The way you spend your 24 hours, it determines how you live.
If you want the future to change for you, you've got to change. If you don't change, the next 6 years of your life is gonna be just like the last 6. You'll still be behind on your bills. You'll still be behind on your promises.
No opportunity wasted. Again, no opportunity wasted.
If one of us can do it, hey, we all can do it. And now here's my last question. Why not now?
Every day we grow older. Every day we have one less day in our futures and one more day in our past. You can keep doing the old thing over and over and over again. And then in 5 years, you will be about where you are today.
Where will you be in your business and your life in 36 months? Not because you hope, because you decide.
If you keep up your present disciplines and keep up the present pace that you're on, where will you be in 5 years? You will either arrive at a well-designed destination or an undesigned destination. Well-designed or undesigned. And I promise you, 5 years from now, you really don't want to arrive at an undesigned destination. Where will you be in 5 years? Start looking into the future of what you would like to accomplish, where you would like to go, the person you would like to be, and see if you can't get a better picture of the finished objective See yourself there. See yourself in possession of. Direction determines destination. Destination is not determined by hope. It's not determined by wish. Destination is determined by direction.
When you take that responsibility into your own heart and you say, I am the problem and I am the solution, you become free. You throw off the chains. You throw off everything that holds you back, and you are empowered.
If you start early, the fortune belongs to you. If you start early. All fortunes that are available to humans, if you start early, the promise looms large and the odds are heavy in your favor. Now, yes, it's possible to do some radical things starting late and still arrive with some good treasures and some good things. But when you haven't got that much time left, now sometimes the decision has to be so drastic people are not willing to make it, and they're too tired and too weary and too ill.
How do you create your life? You get hungry for something, don't you? Who has done something in your life that once seemed difficult or impossible, and now it's part of your life? It was once just a vision. It may have seemed impossible at one time. So how did you do it? You started with a concrete vision of what you wanted, and you focused on it continuously, didn't you? Wherever focus goes, energy flows. You envisioned something, you got clear about it, and then you started thinking about all the reasons why you wanted it. You got excited about it. You said, this is what's next for me now. I want this. You may have dreamed about it, thought about it, talked about it. But when you focus on something continuously, something magical happens. You get insights, don't you? You overhear a conversation and you hear something you wouldn't have heard if you didn't have that outcome or goal that you wanted so badly.
Now, you can keep on the same path for the next couple of years as you have the past two. But if you wish to, and maybe everything's okay for you and you don't need to, but if you need to make some changes, I'm telling you can start doing it today so that the next 2 years will be drastically different than the last two.
You cannot be a believer until you see your old life and the misery thereof and want to change it. Are you committed? Because without commitment, nothing happens. If you don't learn to give like you learn to get, every area that there is not reciprocity, it will die. Reciprocity. What do you give back for what you get? If you're not committed, you're not going to make it. Even the ones with the personalities you don't like. You have to be committed through the storm and the rain and the heartache and the pain and the disappointment. You have to believe in the we and the us and not the me and the you, or you're not gonna make it. It's a commitment. It's not a feeling. Until you have had the taste of finishing, you will not respect yourself. Until you follow through, until something is done, come hell or high water, tears and struggles and pain, and you go through it anyway, and you show up and you continue to fight on no matter the circumstances. After a while, something begins to wither inside of you. Anytime you need something that you can't give to yourself, you're at the mercy of somebody else, and when they don't come through, you got pain. And what you become is the consequences of what you didn't get. It's an urge. It's an urge. Truth be told, every champion has felt it. Every president has felt it. Every king has felt it. Every lion has felt it. Every winner has felt it. Every soldier has felt it. Every victorious person has felt it. The urge to quit. Don't you give up on your dream. I don't care if you don't have the money, you don't have the help, and you don't have the family for it, and you don't have the background for it, and you don't have the friends for it. Don't you give up on your dream. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. It may take you twice as long. You may have to take courses and classes. You might not read as fast. You might not move as quick. You might not have as much, but don't you quit. Don't you quit. You do make a difference. You do make a difference. You do make a difference. As weak as you are, as tired as you are, as many mistakes as you made, you do make a difference. There is something they would lose if you were not there. There was something that they would miss if you were not there. You do make a difference.
Happiness is your default state. However, you've forgotten that. And it's not about seeking more, it's about realizing that. It's not about adding, it's about getting there. It's like the way there, the way you grow is by realizing you're already there and getting rid of everything telling you you're not there. That's the journey. If you get that and you let go of trying to feel happy, because you don't want to feel happy, you want to be happy. Not the emotion, but the state. The emotion. You do not want that emotion, because as I said, that emotion is not true happiness. That emotion is dependent on something, and it's linked to feeling happy, feeling not happy. I mean, what makes you feel happy eventually will turn into unhappiness. You don't want to feel happy. You want to let go of that makes you feel happy, because that's the you're attached to. You want to let go of anything you want. You want to let go of anything you don't want. Let go of all the emotions, let go of all the thoughts, reach the state. And again, you can't put this state into words, but that's what we're looking for. Because you've all had the emotion of feeling happy. It clearly is not what you're after. If you're someone who thinks you don't deserve happiness, which is again, your default's unhappy, it doesn't matter what you do, your subconscious is going to keep taking over, you're unhappy. Just making that firm commitment like enough's enough. Because we're so hooked on doing, again, our mind's like repetitive as most of the thoughts you're thinking today are the same thoughts you thought yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before. We're living our life on repeat, literally. And the more we do it, the more we're hooked on it, and the stronger that those habits become. By knowing deep down inside that we're already up here, the journey is getting rid of everything that's in the way from you realizing you're up here. So there is a journey, and who knows how long it takes. It may just take forever. It's kind of like the same thing as going from up here to down here. It's like it never ends. But although it may never end, you still know, especially once you experience it, that you're already up here. So although you're working on getting rid of the shit, it's not coming from scarcity. So it is possible to improve yourself without improving yourself. It's possible to improve yourself coming from a place of already being improved. Due to, this is an interesting one, the dual nature of this world, anything, if it's depending on anything, that thing is not permanent, and it's going to change, and it's going to disappoint you, and you will not be happy. So it's all temporary, it's all this relief from pain, and as long as you don't get to the cause, nothing will happen. You'll just be reinforcing that assumption. Because that's a big one too. It's like the more you think hustling will make you happy, the more you think self-improvement will make you happy, the more you're reinforcing that your default's unhappiness. Or trying to seek the infinite with the finite. We're in this world of like limited things, and we're seeking the unlimited. It doesn't matter how much limited things you get, you're never going to get the unlimited. It's like trying to count till infinity. Can you count till infinity? Yes or no? No, there'll always be another fucking number. Doesn't matter how many, like how high you get, you're never going to reach infinity. And that's what we're all seeking. It's like we're seeking like infinity. We're seeking that state of happiness in the finite. And it doesn't matter how much we get. It's like more, we're done. You know, and until we find this too, as I said, everything will be compulsive. And that's what's kind of crazy. It's like, you know, you need more. You're literally like a fucking drug addict chasing more. You're a workaholic, you chase more game, you chase hotter girls. It's like you live a life of just being compulsive. You can't actually kind of relax because your foundation is, I'm unhappy. But when I let go, I realized like it wasn't unhappiness, it was happiness. And that's why I was like, holy shit. You know, it's like we're literally all hanging on to the side of a cliff, and you know, someone's below's like, let go, I'll catch you. You're like, no, if I let go, I'll die. And then you actually do let go, but it requires so much to just let go. Because again, you've been hanging on your entire fucking life. Everything you've been doing has been reinforcing it, assumption upon assumption upon assumption, belief. It's like, hang on or I will die. And you think that the journey is just to keep hanging on. It's like, let go. Easier said than done. It's easy to do, I mean, but hard to do. And that's what it took for me to like actually let go. And the lesson was like, there was that little glimpse of like, holy shit. Instead of like nothingness, instead of unhappiness, was happiness. And that's like, the default is happiness. That's what like baffled me. And again, my whole goal was how to let go of all this shit. You know, it's letting go of literally everything, like everything you're attached to, letting go of all of your emotions. And that's big. Remember, your emotions are not you. Okay? Happiness, feeling happy is the emotion. We're looking for the state. Letting go of all your thoughts, literally dropping everything.
A guy asked me about 2 months ago, he said, E.T., if there's one mistake you've made, what's that one mistake you made? I said, I'm gonna be honest with you. My values are not in alignment with my dreams. He said, E.T., what do you mean by that? I said, I want to tell you a story. I got a good friend of mine, he came to me and said, Eric, my marriage is not where my marriage needs to be. I need to make some adjustments. I see you and your wife. I see how much time you spend with your wife, how much time you spend with your children, and I want that. You buy your wife roses regularly. You're always taking her out to eat. Like, I'm watching you. You spoil her. E.T., what can I do? And so I told him what to do, and guess what he started doing, God? He started doing the exact same thing I started doing. And he said, Eric, it's not working. Like, I'm doing exactly what you're doing, but it's not working. He said, why isn't it working? I said, you know why it's not working? Because your values and your dream, you say you want a better marriage. But I told you you need to iron your wife's clothes. You know what he told me? Afterwards, he said, I'm gonna be honest with you, Eric. I know, you told me to iron, you told me to wash, you told me to cook, but where I come from, he said, I'm gonna be honest, Eric, when I do that, I feel like a punk. And I said, and that's why you're having a hard time doing it. Because your value system says a man is not supposed to iron, a man is not supposed to cook, a man is not supposed to wash dishes. That's what your value system says. So you're doing one thing, but you're going against your own value system. The reason why I'm having such an easy time washing clothes and cooking and ironing, you know why? Because nothing is as important to me as my marriage. And I would rather be happy. I would rather be happy than to say I ain't no punk. Make me a punk. I want to be a punk. A happy punk. For real, no. A friend of mine, he came to my house and I didn't have a mop. And so I was on the ground and I was mopping the floor with a towel. And he says, E.T., the hip hop priest, you're on the ground and you're mopping? I said, yeah. He says, your wife got you whipped. I said, you didn't know? You just found that out? I've been doing a terrible job. I'm sorry. I am whipped. And after 23 years, you should be. And if you're not, it's a problem. So listen to me. There are those of you who said, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be the best at this company, right? But your value system says you believe in sleep more than you believe in grinding. Your value system says you are a consumer and not a producer. That you're spending more money than you're making. Why? Because you're a consumer, but you're reading all the books and you're saying everything the books are saying, but those books are not in alignment with your values. And if you're going to go to the next level, your values are going to have to change. That's what happened for Eric Thomas. My values about learning changed. I realized that information changes situations. And so I'd rather buy a book than buy a house. Because if I buy a book, I can buy several homes. If I buy a home and I don't have the right information, guys, for real, okay, I'm leaving you with this. This is crazy. Can I be honest with you guys? You could burn my house down and it wouldn't bother me. Well, how do I know? I had a home that a tornado tore down in Alabama. It didn't bother me. Why? Because we have the blueprint and they can rebuild it. You can take all my money out the bank. It might hit me. Ooh. If I would tell you my lineup of speaking and our audio book, what we're making every month, we'll be all right. I can make more money. If you take the knowledge out of my head and take the experiences that I have, I'm broke, I'm nothing. So now I don't just read because I see other people reading and I want to mimic what they're doing. I really believe in reading now. And so all I do when I have time is read. All right, so I got 1:48. I've never done this before, but I'm gonna get it done in 1:48. Last one, you gotta be obsessed with improvement, guys. Last one, come on, come on, come on. This was so important because some of the greatest minds are going to be in front of you today. Some people in this room who are not just talking it, they've lived it. But here's the problem. The problem with most people is that you're not obsessed with improvement. You're obsessed with making money. You're obsessed with taking your business to the next level. And can I be honest with you guys? When you become obsessed with improvement, I will spend more time learning in Australia than I will speaking. I'm going to say it again because you missed it. I will spend more time sitting under people. I will spend more time with Glenn. I will spend more time with Aaron. I will spend more time learning than I will speaking in this country. I will walk away with stuff I never heard before, books I've never read before, audios I've never seen before, going to conferences that I've never gone, hanging out with people that I've never hung out with before. This is nothing, guys. This is just a dessert. Me speaking is just a dessert. This is just the beginning. I came to Australia to learn. I came to Australia to get an upgrade. And when I go back, my wife will notice a difference. My kids will know a difference. Why? I'm obsessed with improvement. Every day I'm getting better. There are those of you with phones, and every new phone that comes out, you get it. Every upgrade, you get it. Every piece of software, you get it. You are upgrading your technology, and you've not upgraded yourself. You got the same operating system you had since 1995. You don't think any different. You don't speak any different. You're the exact same person you were in 2010. And I challenge you, the final one, I challenge you. I challenge you, the final one, I challenge you. We got 5 seconds, 4 seconds, I challenge you. Be obsessed with improvement. Be obsessed with improvement. Be obsessed with improvement. And like the lion, go from a gazelle to a lion. Why? Because if you don't kill it, then your family won't eat.
What you know about dreams? What you know about having faith in something you can't see? Tell me, how much do you believe? What you know about feeling something?